Now, for those of you who don't know, my name's Gary May, and what I'm just about to say, I think is going to cause a bit of a sales revelation, or revolution in fact. But there is a bit of a warning. If you're a business owner, a sales director, sales manager, what you're just about to hear, I think you're going to be absolutely elated with. However, if you're a sales professional, then I got a feeling you're going to feel like your stomach's just going to drop out of your backside. You're going to hate me, and you're going to hate your sales management, but it's for everyone's benefit. Now, I always said that I wouldn't do videos containing this subject, but we are in the middle of a global pandemic, and over the last 6 months, we, of course, have had to get used to different ways of working, new rules, new challenges, one of which is social distancing. What that is meant to traditional sales is that the face-to-face going to meetings has dramatically declined. And of course, we are now conducting more meetings virtually, whether that's Zoom, whether that's Skype, whether that's MS Teams. What this has done is present the sales industry with what I believe is a monumental opportunity. And it's actually a bit of a gift, the likes of which we have never ever had in the industry before. For the first time ever, we're able to record sales people's meetings live. Just think about the benefits that this now brings. Because firstly, if you are a business owner or a sales director, you now have access to exactly what your sales guys, ladies are saying, how they are representing your company. You've now got access to understand what their questioning skills are like, what their body language is saying, their mannerisms, how well they're overcoming objections, and in fairness, are they actually asking for the business, or are they just walking away? Now, I know we'd all like to think, and I would be the same, I'd like to think I know exactly what my team are doing whilst they're out there. The thing is, with remote selling, we can now confirm and prove it. And if it were me, I'd make it company policy. The second thing is that for those of you that have used me before, you all know that I am by far not the cheapest option out there. I'm not your typical sales refresher or back to basics type trainer. Because I concentrate on the psychology of sales, the science of influence and persuasion, buying psychology, persuasive body language and the like, then the vast majority of what I deliver to sales teams is new. Therefore, they've never heard it before. Now, what this requires is a certain amount of effort and time for the sales people to actually implement it. Because if they don't, guess what? No implementation, you're not going to see a change in results. So now with live sales meeting recordings, we're able to see exactly with our own eyes what's being said, how the unique strategies are benefiting the salesperson, or are they actually trying to implement it in the first place? Now, I've said this a few times. If you were to buy a sales individual a brand new car, and they decided that, do you know what, I'm going to use public transport instead, you'd be pretty annoyed, right? So this is where this comes into play. Why bring someone in like me to get your team to perform at an elite level, but yet have certain individuals that decide, I'm not going to bother with that, I'm going to do it my way. So now we have the opportunity to coach, to train and to develop. And that brings me nicely on to the third point. What an amazing training tool this is. When have you or your team ever had the opportunity to review an entire sales presentation? Because let's face it, no one likes role-playing situations. They're awkward and they're unlikely to be a true reflection as to what's actually being said whilst we're sat in front of prospects or customers. Now, if you have or are part of a lead generation or telemarketing team, then you'll know the benefits of call recording, being able to review, to be able to monitor, be able to train by listening and reviewing your own calls. Yes, I know people hate listening to themselves or now being able to watch themselves. But guess what? if by doing so, we increase skill sets or you increase income and company profits, then who cares? Literally, who cares? Now, so the fourth point I wanted to bring up was you and your team must have heard the objection, I need to run it past someone else. I need to run it past a board, a partner, even a wife or husband. What that means is that after doing a great presentation, we're having to entrust someone who inherently is not in sales, that's not an expert in your field, to go and sell your products and services on your behalf. Thing is, we don't have to do that anymore because we're able to now send a full copy of the entire sales presentation or even an edited version if you prefer. That means that other decision makers, they get to see that sales presentation with 100% accuracy in the way that you wanted it to be told and with you actually doing the presentation. You're not having to rely on someone from IT or HR with no formal training to go and sell it or sell your company on your behalf. And again, think of it much like this. If you've got a favourite TV programme, would you prefer to go home and watch a replay? Or would you like someone else to try and reenact the scenes, the character voices and the script? Well, of course not. We all want the real replay because that's a true representation. Now we've got that ability. And then finally, you can tell I'm passionate about this. And finally, and this is a big one for me, for those of you who work with me, you'll know this. I've come from a technical background, or I did do many years ago. And walking into sales, I realised that often people see sales as a 5-letter dirty word. Hence why we tend to cover it up these days with business consultant, business manager, advisor, specialist. I mean, who doesn't really know what we're trying to say here? And of course, we've all heard of those salespeople out there that have forgot to tell someone that they're actually signing a 10-year agreement when they think it's one, or that maintenance was included and it's actually not, or we've all heard the stories of someone sitting in a presentation for 6 hours until the prospect crumbled under the immense pressure. What remote selling and being able to record entire sales presentations has enabled us to do, and it is a bit of a welcome gift, is to identify and eradicate those small number of salespeople out there that tarnish the entire industry. And not only that, we can now monitor the performance levels of those salespeople that now have to change because of this ability. I think it's absolutely incredible, as you can tell. Now, I mentioned this at an event. I was a guest speaker the other day, and I mentioned it, and my inbox was then flooded with two types of people: elated CEOs, business owners and sales directors, and a couple of disgruntled salespeople as well. If you want and could see the value in an independent opinion or review of your sales team's recorded presentations, from me personally, of course, NDAs, yeah, of course, then get in contact. I'd be more than happy to cast my eye over and to review and to comment. Alternatively, if you want to know more about me, and my elite sales mastery programs, then go and visit garymay.co.uk, because I truly believe the ability to record sales presentations in their entirety and live is the start of a brand new sales revolution. Cheers.